Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. I apologize for my hiatus, guys. It's been one of my longest breaks, over a week since my last video. As anyone who, if you saw my community post a while back, you'll know that we unfortunately recently lost our 14-year-old golden retriever. And so frankly, I haven't really been in the headspace to like want to do a lot of gaming or streaming or anything like that. In addition to that, my wife and I also, a week or so after that, we took a vacation to Vegas for a couple of days. We saw Adele perform. Great show, whether you're a fan of her music or not. Tremendous show. So I've been kind of laying low, just sort of relaxing, and also took a bit of a vacation and want to get back into it. So we'll see. Hopefully not too many of you drifted away and you're still out there and want to watch content. Yeah, that's where I've been. I haven't live streamed in even longer than that, but I will probably get back to that in the coming days. I will likely be starting up some new series soon because we did finish our Suzerain series not that long ago, and we are kind of grinding, I think, toward a conclusion in this Grand Tactician series. So that's what's up with me. But yeah, let me know if there's any games in particular out there you want to see. I know there's a Steam Next Fest going on right now. There's a Terminator demo. There's a couple other things. There's a new DLC coming out for Unity of Command 2 we might covering Kursk. But it kind of also feels, and this is somewhat also I think why I've not been as active lately, it feels like a little bit of a lull right now in historical games. I feel like after, with the exception of the Whiskey and Lemons DLC, which you're looking at here, really feels kind of like the channel's been a little bit slow since the Rule the Waves 3 and more so the World War I Western Front game, which came out earlier this year. Just kind of feels like we're in a bit of a rut. That's enough intro, though. We are returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. We are playing the Whiskey and Lemon DLC. We are currently a brigadier general in command of a division in the Army of Northeastern Virginia in this Eastern Theater only DLC. It is March 26th of 1863, so we're ways into the war. We just won a battle in sort of Northern Virginia, defeating an enemy division of comparable size to us pretty convincingly. But we're cut off a little bit now. We don't really have a great supply line. You can see we're low on food. Our troops are not super happy, possibly because the rebels have pushed Union forces back near Fredericksburg, right? That's up there. Yeah. And so we're like stuck down here. We do have some indirect lines out to Madison Courthouse and Culpeper out to the west. We're just north of Richmond here, but we don't really have the readiness, the supply, or anything like that to push on to Richmond despite our victory. So we'll probably hang around here for a little bit, see if the supply situation gets better. I've got about 4,900 prestige, which is a pretty good amount. I don't have a ton of cash. I've got 1.1 thousand. It's a decent amount, but it's not a ton. And we're getting closer to promotion to Major General. We could actually make it happen now. We could spend 1,400 prestige to do that now. I don't think we're going to do that quite yet. We are also waiting on a little bit more cash. We're doing a fundraising event, but that'll take about 12 days. And yeah, that's where we are right now. So let's go ahead and move things along. You can see the Rebs withdrawing further south from us. Our own division's got the skull and crossbones there. That indicates that our supply situation is not great. It does say we have 100% supply. I'm not sure why. Because you can see here, while our ammunition stocks are high, our food stocks are very low. We don't have that many disabled men. It doesn't look like we're suffering too badly from, where's Harrisonburg? From our supply situation, but it's not great. Meanwhile, the war seems to be very active in the west, in the valley. Continuous battles and things going on out there. But I think the Rebs... I'm hopeful the Rebs are not far from defeat. Meanwhile, an enemy... Oh, campaigning season. The winter is over, right? So we are now into April, and it's campaigning season. So let's go ahead and pause here for a second. There appeared to be a battle going on here in the valley. Nathaniel Banks is 17,000 men out there. And then we've got Morris's division over here at Port Republic, outnumbered somewhat considerably by the Rebs. I think I can get there in time. I'd be intrigued to see if... The problem is I don't have a good railway out that way. And I don't think I have the readiness to move. Yeah, doesn't look like it's going to let me do that. Because my readiness is so low. What is it? So it still says 100% supplies. Despite that, though, ammunition's at 70%. Provisions are at 2%. So I don't quite understand that logic. Can we pull back? Nope. I can't move through hostile territory. So I can't move through hostile territory due to low readiness. But I don't really know where I can move. All right, so Harrisonburg's over here to the west of Port Republic. So the Union did win a battle there, holding off considerable number of enemy forces and divisions. Port Republic, might go. I don't know that it'll go our way. I think it's looking not so great. Oh, nice. Okay, so we did win a victory at Port Republic. So our troops are withdrawing north, but it did say we won a victory there. It does look like the Rebs converged on one division, which is now withdrawing. So they did kick us out of the southern end of the valley here. My supply situation doesn't appear to be getting any better. My readiness maybe slightly. Supply ratio is 100%. That doesn't quite make sense to me. We've got plenty of ammunition, just not so much food. All right, so I successfully raised some more cash. So we're up to $1,600 in our coffers. Can I keep doing that? Fundraising for gamble. Problem with gambling is it pisses people off. Increase my prestige by throwing a party. But I don't know that it makes sense to do that. Are we still at 1.4? 1.3. Makes us a major general. Let's do it. So we are now going to get promoted to major general, which still allows us to command a division. Doesn't automatically increase my size of my force, but I can, in theory, command corps and armies now. So we have 3,600 prestige left. We are still in command of a division at the moment. I'm an old hand. I lose about a half a star of experience by increasing my rank. Because as you level up, there's this idea of, I don't know if it's decreasing competence, but you don't have experience quite doing what you're doing now as a higher rank. It does look like we've got an additional officer in our staff now, maybe? Or did we have all three of those before? I don't even know. Anyway, we've got Colonel Andrew Smith as our adjutant. Major James Carlton might be slightly better, but... So I spent that prestige. Ooh, I can buy stock. I can reconcile with people who don't like me. So now that I've got more money, more prestige, I can do things to boost my character. Okay. Decrease order delays. Fame is increased by 1 star. What good does that do me? None of these things I feel like benefit me that much. Anyway, so I don't know that Administration. My administration's already almost maxed. I guess we'll study leadership. I feel like that could be an important thing. We're liked, but we're not loved. Also, now I can get like better stuff, so I can get like the nicest. Well, actually, no. I gotta take command of a corps to get some of the nicer things still, and I don't have enough money to do it anyway. So, all right. So we'll wait there. What's our order of battle look like? If we pull up the screen here, I could, in theory, influence high command and request transfer of your commanded unit to be attached to this unit. So you can actually request your division be transferred to another army? Interesting. We are not a major general. Although I think all the other division commanders in this army are as well. All my commanders like me, generally. None of them are super famous. Probably none of them deserve a higher rank. I guess I'll still have trashy weapons. We could request a Lorenz rifle. They are available. Or an Augustin rifled musket. I'd like the Lorenz better. That was kind of the standard issue. How much prestige does it cost? I didn't really see spending much of anything to do that. So the 8th New York just upgraded their weapons to Lorenz rifles. I don't know if this is like... It says they're available, but it doesn't give me a number of weapons in stock. So... Also doesn't look like I'm spending prestige to upgrade these weapons. Lorenz rifles are definitely better than Springfield muskets, though. We're talking smoothbores versus rifled muskets here. But again, it doesn't look like I'm spending prestige to upgrade these regiments, so for sure I'm going to do that as much as I can. The Lorenz wasn't the most popular weapon. It had very indifferent... oh, actually, I am spending prestige. It had very inconsistent quality within the Union forces. I'm not spending much, though. And that's because there were like third-party producers of the weapons, and then there were weapons that would come like directly from Austrian arsenals. And then you also have the fact that like some of them had been field used by the Austrian military, and some of them had not. And so again, it was a very quality rifled musket for its time. But it also, you know, maybe not quite up to the standard of the Lee Enfield, or not the Lee Enfield, of the Enfield or of the Springfield rifled muskets, but still a very good weapon for its own time. And again, if you got a good quality one, it could get there, but it wasn't as quite as ubiquitous. It was, I believe, the third most, maybe not third most equipped, but the second most, I believe, imported weapon of the war after the Enfield, I believe. Okay. Actually, if you hover over the weapon, it gives you a little bit of a write-up of an Austrian muzzle-loading rifle musket available for import, reliable and accurate, but without translated manuals, difficult for the Americans to use effectively. It's kind of funny, too, because the Americans were not particularly good at using rifled muskets effectively. Not a knock against any of the soldiers, but like the British had an actual school of musketry, and they trained their soldiers how to fire aimed shots with the Enfield rifle musket out past 300 yards or so. And the Americans did not. The Americans basically just were essentially trained point and shoot as if they're a smoothbore. And so while they were more accurate than a smoothbore, they didn't really use them to their fullest capability in the way that British soldiers did. And a good example of how you could use those at much longer ranges than you typically saw in the American Civil War was actually seen in the Crimean War, where the British Enfield rifled musket equipped soldiers obliterated Russian formations at long range, even compared to the ranges that you saw in the Civil War. So that's like one of the criticisms, or one of the arguments against the rifled musket being sort of a decisive factor in the American Civil War, is that they didn't use them to their capability. They basically just used them like slightly more accurate smoothbores. And yes, it pushed the range out a little bit, but when you got that parabolic trajectory going with your weapon, you can only go so far till that ball drops. All right, so we got our troops upgraded. We spent about 1,000 prestige doing it. Are there any better carbines we should be equipping our troops with? We could do the Springfield musketoons, but I'd rather just stick with the Smith carbines. So we now have a rifled musket equipped division. That'll be nice. And we'll just, I guess, continue waiting to see if anything of interest happens in the next 20 minutes. I recently pulled some strings to equip my boys with better weapons. They were thrilled. Were they, though? Condition of the men is poor, probably because they're still low on food. But I can't move them anywhere. Oh, here we go. We got to fight. Looks like about 10,000 Rebs have advanced on us with 16 guns. We've got 18 guns and 10,000 men, although our morale is low. So we will see how this battle plays out. We'll go ahead and fight another fight near Hanover Junction, though this time we are in command. This is the first time we will be fighting a battle where we are the actual field commander. General Stone commanded our last fight, but now we are in charge. It is just my division, no other divisions around us. So we shall see how this plays out. I'm kind of curious. Get some of that prestige back. Use those weapons. Those newfangled Lorenz rifle muskets. It's a fine weapon. Okay. The enemy army is green and the morale is reported to be broken. Okay. Reports indicate their supply situation is outstanding. The state of our supplies are outstanding. Are they, though? So we're stable. They're determined. The quality of our men is 51. Theirs is 86. Horses 89 versus 77. Guns are 100 versus 91. Provisions actually are okay. Provisions and forage are pretty solid for us, interestingly enough. But our troops' morale is not great. Probably. Yeah, we get a lot of differing morale, so it'll be interesting. We should, I would think, be able to deal effectively with the enemy here. We're supposed to be on the defensive in this fight. The enemy's going to come on the map in the southern end. There's a lot of water on this map, but there's one objective, and we are sitting on that objective up here in the north already. So this battle is going to occur in a pretty limited geographic area, probably. There's not great elevation here. So there's not really great terrain to defend. We could build some fortifications. We've got enough engineering points to do that. All right, so let's do this. 3rd Brigade. Station yourself here. First Brigade there. All right, so we've got 2 brigades basically on a fence line in the shape of an L. Second brigade's going to form up in single line along this mostly along this tree line. Set everybody to long range for their orders. Our cavalry brigade is sort of positioned on the flank over there. And that's it. We got 3 brigades, right? We've got some brigades in reserve. But that's kind of how our position is. So it depends where they're going to come up from in terms of whether this is a good position or not. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to... Whatever. All right, I do like the new UI where it shows you the direction that your breastworks are pointing. That is nice. All right, so we'll build those breastworks here to extend those fences out to the right. Frankly, maybe we should just do this anyway. Okay. I wish fortifications snapped onto each other. That would be a nice little touch. Okay. We'll use this as sort of an extended second line, if you will. Ah. Interesting. It doesn't look like they're sticking to that position. Let's actually switch these guys into a single line. Let's just put them up on these earthworks. All right, so we got 2 brigades on this line. We're defending the actual... All right, so the 2nd brigade is going to be kind of our reserve brigade where we can shuffle wherever. We'll put them on the interior line. These guys are just sort of in a bit of a U-type formation here in front of the objective, and then our cavalry will actually swing out wide to the right to guard our extended flank. So there you go. And then maybe we'll send our cavalry out to just see what's going on. All right, so now I'm telling this 8th New York to finish the breastworks, which we could have built or started to build to start. All right. All right, Riley, get your boys in the saddle. Let's go find where those rebs are. They're probably coming up this main road. So we're going to go ahead and send you guys down this way. It looks like this is where they'll enter the map. They'll come down this main road here and then probably slam into our left flank. This is probably not a very effectively laid out defensive position. So let's do this actually. Let's build a new breastwork. Again, I wish you could click, like, there's no connecting to the breastworks, which would be nice, as far as I'm aware. Can I not do this? We're going to have these guys go work on, those 3 regiments are going to go work on those fortifications, which I tried to extend a little bit further. Meanwhile, I have issued orders to my cavalry to go scout out toward Cooperton. And we're just going to go ahead and speed things along, I guess, because there's no reason to slow things up. I know the morale checks penalize you in fights when you're going too fast, but no one's fighting right now. You get some nice morale bonuses for being behind earthworks. You can see the Lorenz rifle there. Our morale, 67%. Looks like it's the 69's the max. Nice. 75 for that unit. 55 for these guys. Okay. But yeah, let's go. Let's go get the cavalry on that road, and they can tell me what they can find. I don't think they're going to come down this road here. I think they're going to come down the Hoedown Road. Probably won't even see the Rebs tonight. Might not see them till tomorrow. It's already 1 in the afternoon, and they got a long way to march if they're coming on all the way down here. Granted, they do have good roads to move down, but nice little town over here with a church. Some actually good ground. A nice little peach orchard. A nice fence line here. Maybe a little chicken coop over there. A little bit of Gettysburg vibes over there. Oh, here come the Rebs. Coming right down that road. Or perhaps staying in that that town with the good ground. Oh shit, there's a stone wall here. Be nice to sit behind a stone wall. All right, Rebs are coming up. Looks like they're trying to form up. They probably don't know where their Polk's division's arrived. So the Rebs have about half of our force at the moment. All right, our boys dismounted. They should still be on this fence line, shouldn't they? What are you doing? There you go. What are they doing? I don't know what you guys are doing. Maybe they can't find a spot for the horses because of this, like, whatever this wooden structure is. All right, we'll bring up Henry Lockworth's regiment to support. Now, the thing is, with carbines, you're going to have much shorter engagement ranges. So if the Rebs do have rifles here with the 2nd Kentucky, they can definitely engage us at longer range. But they've got slower firing weapons. And we've actually got 200 more boys in the lead regiment, plus the another 500 I'm pulling up onto their flank here. So we'll bring this regiment up here on the flank. We'll engage these boys. All right, 2nd Kentucky came up. They took a few casualties. They did fire back, but now they are pulling back. We've got a 2nd regiment coming up here, the 6th Kentucky. Now we've also got the 14th Pennsylvania firing into their flank. 14th Pennsylvania were kind of the heroes of the last battle. They ran down those Rebs, inflicted much heavier losses. The 1st Vermont were the relatively green troops, although now they have fought before, so they are experienced. Not as experienced as the 3-star 14th Pennsylvania, but still, they've got some experience. Rebs are pulling back. They are still shooting at our boys behind this fence line, but we'll keep pushing forward with the 14th Penn. The horses do make better targets for artillery, so that's kind of one reason to be a little bit cautious with how you use them. That's why fighting dismounted can be an effective tactic. But we've got 2 regiments in action here. The enemy's brought a 2nd one forward here, the 2nd and the 6th Kentucky. And they've got us another 2nd Kentucky? Okay. Let's mount up. Oh, there's some rebel cavalry over here too. That's the 2nd. That's why they have the same unit designator. Why are my horses out front? I told them to get back in the saddle. This is not good. This whole confusion here. I want them to move more quickly, but they're not. I'd issue a retreat order. Okay, here we go. Why can I not issue a retreat order? It's because my officer's too far away. Also, why are you still like half mounted, half dismounted? What's going on there, boys? Anyway, so they started off good, the 1st Vermont, and now they ended up losing 30 men. 14th Penn is doing a good job. They're tying up 3 enemy regiments by themselves. Alright, boys, retreat out of there. You're still on your horse, you should be able to do that. Get on your damn horses. Like, what's the mounting situation here? I don't know why Riley would be demoralized. His boys fought pretty well. They did their job. They found the enemy. Now get your boys out of there. Don't break. Just retreat. They shouldn't be able to keep up with you, except for maybe the. Oh, come on! Why did you rout? You're not even under fire. We're not even using time compression either. Also, why are they not moving? Oh, now they routed too. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess maybe because I did the time 5 compression, it jacked something up. Not sure. I would say that is a quibble I have with the game, in that I don't think it does a good job of allowing you to use cavalry because of the way some of those commands work. All right. Either way, though, they should be able to rally. And they didn't suffer too badly. Like, I liked the way we thought we were using cavalry, and then they just broke and ran. So the enemy was up near Cooperstown, pushed up to this ward farm here, but now we've moved back to the east. We're about to have nighttime. Okay. Riley will deploy your brigade over here on the flank. If they can even go that way. We'll see if the Rebs come out of that wood line. Everything looks pretty flat, so the fact that our positions are behind wood lines shouldn't hurt too much, especially on the left. The enemy's going to have to come into this clearing to get to our positions. Be nice if there was like a little ridge here on this fence line so I could more easily shoot over the top of my boys. But yeah, that cavalry should rally. Still waiting for the Rebs to come up here. Here they come. Slowly coming up that roadway. 1,600 hours. My cavalry has started to rally. I'm curious if we'll get any more ammo. I would think not. We haven't seen any indication of getting more ammo in previous fights. All right. Firing's underway, at least artillery. These guns are targeting here. Can these guys shoot? We have 3 batteries of artillery, don't we? Bring the other one over to the left. Can they not shoot? They may not have the ability to shoot over the heads of those boys. But we've got the 2nd Kentucky Infantry coming forward here. rushing into range. Remember, our boys now have rifled muskets. So hopefully that makes a difference. We're also behind breastworks. The enemy are not. So we got 2 regiments in action here against the lead 2nd Kentucky. Also got some artillery coming in from the flank. The 2nd Kentucky regiment should be shredded. Breastworks seem to be doing their job. We're not losing too badly. Get about a +2 per volley. 2nd enemy regiments come up. Not in a very good position. We really haven't seen any indication of more rebel troops. Just the 2 lead brigades. So basically 1 enemy, 2 lead regiments. So basically 1 enemy brigade. Oh, another enemy coming up here. The 6th Kentucky now. 6.5. That was a very effective volley there. Yeah, I think this lead enemy unit's gonna get pretty shredded here. We've inflicted 2-to-1 casualties on them so far. They are starting to pull back. Fourth Kentucky's hanging in there. 2nd Kentucky's withdrawing. A little less than 2-to-1 casualties now. Nice sunny July day. I think it's July, right? Or April day. Oh, I said July. Only a very small percentage of our line is in the fight so far. But they're pretty confident. They're not losing too badly. 4th Kentucky's pulling back. 2nd Kentucky's already pulled back. 32nd enemy battery of artillery's coming up. Trying to get into the fight. Gonna burn through some ammo here. We're gonna flank these enemy columns here. We'll advance the 17th Massachusetts and 16th New York onto the enemy flank. And my personal commander is right around here somewhere. One of these HQs is me. So I'm helping rally. What am I doing? That was not what I wanted to do. Looks like our cavalry has rallied. Yeah, we at least got one of these. The 16th New York is in position here. Kind of firing into the enemy flank in the open here, but they're not getting shot back at. 6th Kentucky is losing heavily. The 4th Kentucky's fragmented. 2nd Kentucky's hanging tough. But yeah, the enemy is coming up and they're getting hit hard. 2 regiments of ours are basically taking these enemy units piecemeal as they come up and working to defeat them in detail. Although again, we've got a 3rd regiment here in the on the flank in action. So this should be a little bit, you know, this should be maybe elementary, Watson. We'll see if we can finish him off as easily as that, but especially if the enemy is only going to deploy 6,000 boys here. Looks like they're up to 10,000 on the field now. Casualties have to be higher than that, though. The only bad thing with this is these 2 lead regiments are definitely chewing up through most of their ammo here. And if we don't get resupplied in the night, we're gonna pretty quickly get into a situation where we've expended more ammo than we would like. Although most of our troops have not expended much. Why are half these guys dismounted and half are not? Did their horses get killed? Alright, so the enemy's pulling back, perhaps to this wood line. Let's go hit their artillery. Also, the nice thing is with the Laren's rifles, we can hit their artillery at much more elongated ranges, and hopefully not lose too badly. Meanwhile, the butcher, yours truly, moving up on horseback to observe with his staff. I'm not sure why they have some sort of entrenchment icon. It looks, as far as I can tell, they're just in the open. We'll have our cavalry go charge those boys with sabers drawn. Although I don't know that the battery will survive long enough to be charged. We're going to bring those guns back. Neither of these regiments here, the 17th Mass or the 16th New York, who are both firing on this unit, have taken any casualties yet. First Vermont is charging those Rebs. We got 30 men left. Wipe them out, boys. Get them. They wiped it out. They wiped out the enemy battery. Good job, 14th Vermont, or 1st Vermont. Yeah, we're going to deploy some of the 17th Massachusetts' men to seize those guns. We're going to redeploy the 16th New York back into our lines. You can see the couriers there taking their time coming up. Let's see if this fight has anything more in it. Those Rebs looks like he's writhing around on the ground in agony. That's a nice little touch. Unless that's some sort of glitch. Like, the wounded, you know, a lot of them are going to be stuck there. They're not going to be able to get out. So if you were wounded in action there, you're kind of screwed. Let's speed things up a little bit. There's a little bit of artillery going, so I don't want to quite go too hard. Bring one battery up on the flank. Maybe you'll extend that fortification a bit in the overnight phase. Oh shit. Enemy cavalry may be coming up to try and harass the boys that we're trying to have take the guns. So we'll move the 17th Mass up to cover these boys. All right, they seized 2 guns. They're going to pull back here. Seventeenth Mass is going to fire into the flank of these horsemen who just attacked the men that I have trying to take those guns back with them. And they're doing some damage. They're inflicting some losses on us. Killed about 8 of our boys there. Finally, the 17th Mass on their flank caught their attention. All right, so it's a little bit of a skirmish so far in terms of the losses taken. About 350 for them, 125 for us. Moving to the nighttime phase. We got a regiment shooting it up. We extended our line with some artillery over here on the left. Mass is going to be on a bit of an island here at the end of the day. All right, they destroyed about half of the detachment there. All right, did anybody get resupplied? Did anybody get more ammo? Actually, it does look like the 8th New York probably got some, because it says they've only used 3 rounds of ammo, so they must have gotten something. Also, this cavalry had used more than 7 rounds each, so they got some too. Let's do some more breastworks here. In the overnight phase. Can I move these guys back to those works? I can. Nice. Oh, just get there. There you go. All right, so we've got guns in position here. I like that now that I'm in charge of these guys, I can actually have them move where I want them to at the in the nighttime phase before the next battle. Okay, I'm going to extend this to hopefully they can fire into the flank of the Rebs as they come up. If not, they've got cavalry support. Deploy some skirmishers here on the flank. So I don't have enough men to fill out my whole line. But what I can do is I can split some skirmishers off here and kind of extend my position so that I've got at least a picket line further off to the right. We'll see what happens in the nighttime phase. But yeah, I think that's it for this nighttime phase. So let's start the next day. See, all of that artillery immediately fires at the start of the day. Rebs are still in position here, but it's an effective bombardment here for our artillery. And we'll just accelerate here and see what happens. Let's see if the Rebs come after us or what happens. It's the only objective on the map, so you'd hope the Rebs would come after you, but if I was them, I'd probably wait and see. Hanging out in that wood line makes an awful lot of sense. Or maybe we just duel with artillery all morning. We'll see. It's kind of funny there's a surrender option because I don't think the AI's ever done that. But in theory, I think you can surrender your whole force. I would love to accelerate through the actual pre-sort of bombardment bit here. But yeah. Dueling artillery. I think at this point, guys, I don't know what's going to happen here, but Maybe the Rebs are going to come forward and mass an assault. Maybe we're going to have an anticlimactic battle. I'm not sure why I wouldn't be getting more points for objectives. Their morale is somehow better than mine. But I think at this point we've been going for almost an hour, so we're going to wrap this video up here. We will pick up the Battle of Hanover Junction in our next video. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye.